Yeah, motivated on focus.
There, off and pacing.
This is the moment. Gotta one up my opponent.
McWicked on the outside.
Gotta get it the mindset. Gotta put it in motion.
You gotta be kidding me. TCI wins the million.
Game time, bet I'm coming in clutch. No hang time, and they can't keep up. The game's on the line. Seconds
Lean back. Get your picture taken.
Crowning moment on Canadian soil for Bulldog Hanover.
Motivated on focus.
A late push from Confederate. It's my show. Wins the big show.
This is the moment.
Hey everybody, welcome inside the studio. Chad Rosema here with you on a Tuesday night with weather outside maybe threatening, perhaps. Right now we're good, and hopefully everything's going to be just fine because we've got 10 dashes teed up. We still have a month and a day of Tuesday night harness action here at Mohawk Park before we go into our fall-winter schedule of the 4 days a week with the Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. At least initially in there. As I welcome in John Rallis back to handicap the races here tonight. I know you and Randy last night, I guess the feature on the card would have been Osceola.
Yep.
Winning the Open, going for 60 grand last night, right?
Just one drive for Doug. He comes in, makes it.
Oh, that was his lone drive.
His only drive.
Nice,
So, yeah,
good one to be here for.
Good showing there by that Greg McNair trained trotter. Yeah, it was a good. I thought Amigo Volo was game in defeat as well. I thought some other ones put in some good efforts, and it's always fun when you get to race for 60,000.
Yeah, we've got some nice local trotters.
Yeah, we do.
Don't
we really
right?
do. Yeah.
I mean, you know, obviously when Logan Park's in to go, it just adds to it. But, you know, even when he's not in there, it's a deep bunch.
Yeah, and Randy and I were talking about it last night just to see Drawn Impression. She put forth a nice showing.
Yeah.
I mean, she, a couple of maybe flat efforts for her this year, a couple of miscues in some inopportune moments, but she's also put forth some good efforts as well. And that's a mare with a lot of talent, and hopefully she can piece it together come Breeders' Crown.
Yeah, I wonder what she's got coming up. Like, if there's any stakes prior to the Breeders' Crown.
Yeah, I wasn't
for
sure.
her, or if it's going to be, having to tackle the boys here.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. But she can go with them.
Yeah.
She's good enough to go with them. And, like I said, if she continues to string together some pretty good performances, she's going to end the year off pretty strong.
Yeah, Emoji Hanover was the winner for Sammy for Blay last night,
Yeah,
right?
back-to-back wins since going to the Pelling Pacifier for that mare. Nice patient drive by Sammy, was able to guide her to a winning trip.
Didn't she come home like 26 and change or something?
Yeah, she looked.
Yeah.
I mean, she looked like she was motoring home.
Yeah, no, it was a good one. All right, as far as how the races played out last night, we'll have a little more detail here as far as the track plays go and where they were situated early and kind of late in the mile. Was there anybody coming from well out of it? Not really. In races 3 and 8, I would have to think Emoji was one of those.
Yep, she was
right?
One of them as well.
So, I don't know if that was 3rd or 8th race, but
race 3.
Race 3, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, again, pretty speed favoring. You needed to be involved, that's for sure.
It's the same thing that we see over and over again as well. But a lot of those horses that were, sitting up close were horses that commanded a lot of respect as well.
Yep.
I mean, I think that also goes hand in hand with some of these numbers that we see on the charts.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, it's been like this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of know that, and I think we're going to have sort of similar weather here tonight. Now, what could sort of change things from this perspective is, as you know, Prospect Series horses generally are contested on smaller tracks. And, if a horse is on the front end on a smaller track, you turn for home here on the lead. That's a daunting stretch.
It's a lot longer than it is usually. You're completely right about that. I think tonight's a night where I think the complexion might change a little bit, given that chart line. And to your point, some of these horses, we've never seen them doing the heavy lifting that are going to be in some of these spots here tonight. I think some of these races are tricky to handicap. I think some of them, I think there's some standouts in some of these races. But to your point, again, a lot of horses are going to get an opportunity to either stretch their legs and might be asked to do a little bit more here tonight.
Yeah. Any nice price winners for you last night?
Hasty Bid was a good winner on
was
top.
he like $14 or something?
Yeah,
or?
12 and change, I think.
Yeah, nice.
I mean, Truffles too. Gardner and I also had that, horse on top. But yeah, gave out the pick 5 last night, so that's always good.
Early one?
Early one.
Okay.
Sent home Dad happy, which is good.
There you go. Yeah, that's always good,
It's
right?
always good.
Yeah, keep Pops happy.
I didn't have to cover gas, that's for sure.
No. Producer Javon says, I want to put together some betting highlights from last night. So having a look back at some of the multi-legs, the early pick 5 for $1. So there it is, $7.85. Yeah, I would be happy going home too.
Absolutely.
Pick 6, $5,400.
That one paid really well.
Yeah.
That pick 6 paid really, really well.
I would have to assume they weren't all covered in the final leg then?
No, not all covered, no.
Yeah. Then the 4th race, decent little trifecta there, but the Super was pretty solid. Same thing in race number 7. Real good. Super. And then the Jackpot High Five continues to grow, getting into that six-figure territory soon. Now if it doesn't go tonight, we'd have to think that's what we're going to be into.
I hope this pool can kind of keep rolling into some of these, either big stakes events or maybe, something that we can segue maybe to a weekend. Like if we, I know we usually do it on a Saturday, but it'd be cool maybe to try and do some other experimenting, maybe do it on a different night and kind of garner some interest and make it like a big weekend. It doesn't even have to be on a stakes night.
No, especially with how much stakes we have coming up. We're already going to have the eyes on the product, right?
Exactly.
So maybe when we, because we're going to get a brief break from the stakes before we get back into more of our provincial stuff, and then obviously the Breeders' Crown. It'd be nice to have one of those off weekends to kind of keep the vibe going.
Absolutely.
Here, right?
I know it's like you're fixated or we're used to doing something a certain way, but that doesn't mean we can't do some experimenting as well. I think it could bode well.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens, but it's just nice to see it grow right now. Okay, we got lots to cover. A bunch of replays here tonight that we're going to go over, make some cases for some horses. We'll have a look, briefly at least at every race. So let's dive on in. Busy 10-pack. As we know, no James McDonald's. That's a big, that's a big miss in here, and it's obviously a lot that needs to be fulfilled. However, almost all of them have actually. So, the paddock judge doing a great job in there, getting on top of it and able to fill most of those. We know Trevor Henry right off the bat will be driving Sweetest Tricks, who opens up right now getting play. What do you make of her? I mean, a little risky given, the breaks last time and, 2 back here was a little bit tougher, but might just enjoy the spot. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she might enjoy this spot. I mean, she was picking up James McDonald as well initially. And, I understand the kind of the appeal. And, it's a really questionable group right now. I think there's a lot of directions that you can go here in this spot. And for me, I didn't opt to use her on my pick 5 ticket or on my ticket in general. I figured she was going to take some support and maybe a filly that I could try and play against here.
And I mean, so with 2-year-old filly trotters, when you scan them, and again, we're talking prospect starter. So for the most part, they're competing outside of Mohawk Park. They get an opportunity here at the Big Smoke. That's why we're not seeing too many sub 2 minute miles on any of them.
Yep.
That makes the handicapping a bit trickier, right? And in this instance, I mean, some of that early money could have been wagered thinking this is James driving, prior to obviously the changes coming up here. I mean, Trevor Henry, especially on a trotter,
big time,
certainly isn't going to hurt this daughter of Trixton's chances. I'd be a little concerned by the rail.
Yeah, I would
coming
be
off a break, but I mean, she got away fine, I guess, from the rail at Georgian.
I would say many people are contenders, or many fillies in this spot are contenders. It's a tricky race to kick things off, but I do think there's a significant scratch because I think the 5 horse, the Goose Princess, was going to generate some interest. But I opted to go to Misty Vodka here in this spot. I was intrigued by the fact that Louis was listed on this one. I mean, JBR probably could have gone to maybe a couple of choices here in this spot. They listed Louis. He had to commit to determination, of course.
Yep.
And, Jody's picking up Misty Vodka. I've liked her efforts early on, and I love the fact that I'm inheriting post 6 now.
Yeah, Julie's unveiled some nice ones this year.
Big time.
In here, the Mark Etzel trainee, Demi Rose, would intrigue me.
Absolutely,
In here, it was bred by Jeff Gorels, Little E LLC, but Mark Owens. I mean, I thought that was a decent start at Georgian Downs, and he and Travis have been able to find some success here together.
Yeah, now you're getting a catch driver aboard here after just a mile, an experienced mile. Last time out, it was up along the inside the entire way, but I thought she was moving well late in the mile. So she's going to generate some interest here as well, one that I'm going to use on my pick 5 ticket.
I was going to say, do you take a stand or you're
3 deep?
3 deep? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, 3 deep. We'll have John's ticket a little bit later on the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. Race number 2 is where we head to next. We'll switch to the pace. 5 and under, nominators of 1 in here, 8,500 lifetime, a group of 8. In this spot. Morning line favorite is the 8 Parlay King, and so we see we've got another driver updated here, Louis Hua, driving the 3 Business on the Beach for Justin Turcotte, one that he takes over the training after Michelle Lagasse had been listed at the nation's capital and 3 Rivers in there. So that'll be one that I think is going to maybe garner some respect too.
Yeah, one I made my worth a look play tonight. One that I'm just intrigued with.
You and Randy both going,
Didn't single the horse. I still went 4 deep. I took a stand in a couple other races, but this is one that I think is going to generate some wagering interest and one that I'm intrigued with. But I think this is a wide open race as well, and I think other ones generate some merit a lot of respect as well.
Yeah, Parlay King, got the good vibes 2 back, and then last time out, I saw the connections were out here to watch. They were always fun. Chuck and Gord Lawrence.
Yep.
father and or grandfather and son. When Boadicea raced here for them, they were always fun to talk to.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure they had a lot of fun watching her compete as well.
Yeah, every time she'd win, Chuck said he'd love to celebrate with a glass of scotch.
I would have done the same.
Yeah, why not? All right, so that's a quick look at race number 2. We're going to get into some replays now in race 3 as we get back to 2-year-olds. Colton Gelding's on the pace. Nominators of 1 or 8,000 lifetime, a group of 8. So still need a driver here on the 3 Jose's triplets, a new acquisition for Frank Cirillo and Aaron Waxman, with Carmen Asiello taking over. And this is one they bought from New York. Had been racing at Vernon, just, the one qualifying win, and then a pretty good well off the pace victory. Not sure what they had to pay for this son of Better Than Cheddar, but they're gonna get him here, and you got to pay attention to Carmen Asiello first time.
A big time, and this is a rookie who put forth a nice effort in his career debut. I made him my best bet here this evening.
Oh, nice.
I really like him in this spot. I think some other horses really merit some respect as well. I mean, Artillery Sealster just looks a little bit tricky to navigate right now, but I think this guy's got speed and ability. But I do think he's got some quirks that he still has to probably work out. I know Manador, one that's intriguing, and Full of Colors, one that Randy really liked last time out. But I'm going to take a stand on this new purchase here, Jose's triplets, and hope that he can, replicate another good effort on the big track.
Yeah, and I'm just going to say, is Drury or Plant here? Because that's who I can see maybe picking this up.
Yep.
Drury's here a little bit later on. So could be here. Plant's not here, however, tonight. So, Manador is one that Randy wanted to have a look back at the most recent, tough draw, even a tough draw Kawartha, having the second tier. That's never the easiest thing. But got away 5th, beat 6th, or finished 6th, only beat 3 lengths in this spot. What do you think overall?
Thought it was a nice effort last time out. You could see Artillery Sealster. He was the one that went way wide there at the stretch. He lost some ground there, and he was able to pace the outside and do pretty well. But you could see Tyler Borth's charge here. Manador, I thought this guy showed some interest late in the mile. You could see he's looking for room up the inside. And there is a seam, but he's moving forward. And now he just kind of loses a bit of room there. But his charge is still moving forward, I think, showing some interest. I've liked his effort so far throughout his young career. I mean, I opted to play against him, but I didn't mind the qualifying effort on July 25th. I think the efforts, the first career effort at Grand River was a good one. And I think just a tough draw at Kawartha and then at Woodbine. I think he just took on a couple of other horses in this spot that maybe we probably expected were going to maybe take a little bit of a step forward there. Yeah,
I thought Artillery Sealster, when Mark Webby was in town, drove him 2 back. I thought he raced awesome. He just went right to the back. And, ended up just putting in a good late rush against a pretty deep bunch of some horses in there, including the stablemate call sign Rooster. Because I remember you talking about him, too, because he looked like he was on his way to a victory when Jody drove him, right? And then he just jumped it off for whatever reason. So he's got his quirks, because even there, it was, kind of like he blew the turn, almost, and then regained his composure. Doc doesn't make any alterations from an equipment standpoint here with him, so it might be something just minor to tinker with.
Yeah, just still looking a little bit steppy, though. That's the thing, and I'm just not sure how, aggressive Travis can be in the spot, and maybe with another start under his belt or an opportunity to sit behind him. I'm curious to see maybe what kind of trip he's going to work out here, but he's got the gate speed. Just a matter of if he can just stay pacing smoothly tonight.
So assuming Jose's triplet's a single for you then.
Nice single for me in this spot, hoping that he can put forth a good effort, but I'll be keeping an eye out on that driver change for sure.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that's a look at race number 3. That's where we start the early pick 4 as well. Pick 6 gets underway in race number 4. That's where we head to next. Let's go have a look at what we've got going on in the 4th race as far as what to offer. Nominators of 1,500 last 5. So a bottom level type trot condition here for a group of 9. Pillow Thief, Sammy Filion. Okay. Picking up this drive here. So Sammy's going to be a bit busier than he had anticipated. And again, Travis Cullen is driving the 5 Southwind. Caesar would have to think that was just a misprint. I don't know if Jody's got her driver's license or not.
I'm not sure, but I tell you what, I spoke to Sammy last night and I said, so, what's in store for you on this Tuesday night? He said, a night off. And so much for that. He's here picking up some work, but another good opportunity. He's picking up some live drives.
Yeah, just to get some here or there, because he's one of the guys you'd have to think. We're not saying anytime, immediate. That'll be up to him, but he's obviously one that would be fresh in people's minds to think he's the next one to make the leap here.
And he's putting in the time. I mean, he goes to so many racetracks, and he's been putting in the hours as well. So nice to see a good showing from him last night with a big opportunity, picking up a Grand Circuit caliber mare.
And he's picked one up here in Pillow Thief that could very well get the job done.
Absolutely. I mean, one that I'm going to use on my pick 5 ticket as well. But HP Run Detector, I think this is a really good spot for this guy to develop some confidence. I know outside draw here in this spot. He had one last time out, but I thought a much tougher group that he was taking on in that outing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, this isn't a classification. I think we just started kind of writing this the last couple of weeks. so it's even lower than our normal bottom level. And that generally what's that's going to do, it's going to, again, bring in some horses that have maybe been racing at Grand River or Georgian, or maybe even some smaller half-mile tracks out there. So that's a look at race number 4 to kick off our pick 6. 5th race, trot. 5 and under, nominators of 1 in here, 8,500 lifetime, field of 10. Florida guy was able to go to Georgian Downs, son of alarm detector, win his pair mutual debut with Sammy driving for Katerina Wozniak at 46-1.
It was a good showing too. That was a really, really good effort by this guy as well. So I mean, nice to have a guy who's familiar, driving him to his career victory. But I mean, James McDonald would have been picking up a pretty live drive anyways in this guy. I know the morning line's 15-1. I don't think he would have gotten anything close to that, because that effort was a really good one.
Well, and I would think for Katerina, when she probably initially heard that James isn't going to be here, because you're excited thinking you're getting the leading driver.
Yep.
So this is awesome. I've got a trotter that is coming off a big upset win that's going to get a leading guy. Well, then she maybe went down briefly knowing he's not here, but then she might have been the one that started the whole Sam Fillion thing to call him and say, hey, any chance he can come out here?
I think he liked him enough, potentially.
That this could have been the one. Who knows? But yeah, he'll get some play. But we got to think the Jody Jamieson charge is going to get some play to land the plane. Was this a horse to watch for Randy
it was,
in the debut?
I
was going to say, I thought I remember him kind of profiling because this guy in the stretch was certainly, he was trotting up pretty good.
He really was, and this was a horse that, obviously Randy and I weren't sure what kind of approach Jody was going to take off the gate, because this, trotter looked a little bit tricky in some of those preps, but I think Jody drove this guy really, really well to keep his confidence up, and he responded really well as well. But you could see, just on that final turn, it looked like for a second maybe he had a reason to maybe put in a few steps here. I think it got a little bit dicey there at the head of the lane, and this guy could have put in some steps turning for home, and this guy
was a bit greasy too.
Stayed professional throughout, and he was moving really, really well. So, got a chance to speak with Jody after the effort, and he was really, really pleased with that effort. A lot to like about this guy, and just bringing him along slowly.
Yeah, was there any backstory as to why? Because they were out with him in June, then he missed July, and then just kind of came back. So you'd think something maybe happened.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to take their time with this guy, and again, you could see him show up late on screen. The winner was already a dominant one in that outing. Sendika, who obviously made the bridle change that night and was able to just trounce the field in a gate-to-wire effort. But look at the run-out. Jody's passed them all in this spot with the son of Tactical Landing, and you have to figure he's ready for an even bigger performance here in start number 2, especially with a good confidence-boosting mile. And the biggest thing is he stayed to task last time out.
And when we're just heading into our final third of the year, and Carl's having a big year.
Yep.
Jody's having a great year. I just saw him the other night. We were kind of chatting about that, and from a money standpoint, from a win standpoint, he's on pace to have one of his better years in recent memory.
Yeah, last year there was a stretch where he kind of just started going through a little bit of a pretty good stretch, and he's carried it over here to 2025, picking up some live young horses
and stakes winners
as well. You put them in good spots, good things are going to happen.
Yeah, it snowballs, right?
Yep.
any driver will tell you that it can snowball.
Confidence is a big thing too.
Yeah, exactly. So. Laying the plane, is he the only one for you in here?
He's going to be a single for me.
Take a stand.
Yeah, boom or bust for him. Off that effort, I think that he's got a big opportunity. I think he's going to put forth a big effort if he trots.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Florida guy can offer, though.
Big time.
Sometimes I do find that what they show for speed at Georgian, they come here and they struggle even sometimes just match that.
Yep.
I don't know why. But we'll see if that's the case here with this guy. Land the Plane, though, will be awfully popular in race number 5 to close out the early pick 5. Guaranteed at $75,000. Late one gets underway in race number 6 with more trotters. 3-year-old colts and gelding grassroots or prospect starters mixed in here, but a nice purse to chase. $25,000 while they await the next provincial test. One that went back to the gold level last time was 4th in a field of 5 is Get the Green for Roger Mayotte. This was a trotter I was so fond of last year. I think I put him on top in the super final.
Okay.
Didn't end up working out. He didn't win, but he's come back. He's got 3 wins this year, but it's been at the lower level for him, because I'm sure they had probably hoped that they had a true gold horse, but still maybe a project in here. Day looks pretty good coming off of that winning effort for him. Anybody else?
I went to Colin Parker in this spot. I really like the way that he's...
You like Benny for a couple tonight,
Yeah, I like the way he's been racing lately. This was a horse who was a little bit camera shy, obviously, to start his career, but always putting forth good efforts. And it seems like his confidence is starting to spiral, right now. And you could see those string of second-place efforts. He was a game second today. 2 starts back, but it was last time out.
He made kind of a quick move on the turn, and it was just maybe, if it was maybe timed a little bit slower, maybe, who knows?
Yeah, but
again, Day's a good one to beat him.
And fighting tooth and nail to the wire in that effort. But this was not one of those game efforts. This was a typical trouble trip here right now. And you could see Mario's got this guy from the rail, and he's behind a rival who's not really able to keep up to the rest of the pack. And look at the hold Mario's got on this guy, and you just know if he gets some racetrack, he's going to start moving forward. So just behind a trio of horses in that spot, and you could see the quartet up front. They're already drawing away, but Mario's going to slip up to the inside here, and when he does, this guy makes up a lot of ground and is able to, come within the vicinity of this group up front. So just a clear shot up the inside. You could see Mario just asking this guy's cue, and this guy's moving forward, Chad.
Yeah, I think he's liver when he can get covered up like that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a tough situation because he had to wait. But, if you're a bit closer, he's probably in the picture to win this.
Yeah, and you can see, just obviously fifth in that effort, but was a head away from being third in that spot. So even after the run out, again, a horse who's trotting really, really well. And you mentioned Day, he merits a lot of respect here. At his best, he's a gold caliber colt, right? At his best, and obviously get the green as well. But I just think that, again, what you mentioned is that I think they're going to be patient with this guy, with this Roger Mayotte trainee. I think that he's probably needs another start to kind of get his feet under him a little bit. And I think Mario's going to, be aggressive with this guy. Better draw to work with, sharp effort like that. I think he's going to try and take this group from start to finish in this spot.
And a couple of interesting horses in here in the 3 Alimony Mike and the 7 Fast Snap that are both going to get on the Lasix program. So we could see some improvement from them. We've seen flashes, especially from Fast Snap this year, in what the ability is.
Big time. He was competing well in that, was it the SBOA? And then obviously some gold tries as well. This is to your point, this is a gold colt when he's on his game. But even Mr. Pasadena, I thought that was a nice effort last time out as well. Nickel and dime is sharp. So I think this is a wide open race, but I'm going to take a stand with Call Me Parker in this spot.
And then Wendell Blue Chip, his second start, Benny B. Ben's one of the best at turning trotters around and generating speed, making them faster. I know it didn't work his first start. He did get parked the route, but we'll see, because we've certainly seen better from this trotter in the past.
Absolutely.
All right, that's a look at race number 6. 7th race, starting the late pick 4. Scratch down to a group of 8 in here. Mike Whalen's on the 6th Century Lunar. 8,000 claimers for the fillies and mares on the pace, where My Only Sunshine is the lukewarm morning line favorite for Grace Marshman. And I thought I saw somebody post when she got that training win at Grand River, that was her first ever training win.
It was it? Okay.
Yeah, I thought that's what I saw somebody write. Message me if that is wrong.
Yep.
Well, I was on track, and I could just check that out as we kind of have a look at what's going on here. But My Only Sunshine, nevertheless, was able to get a win, and now coming back here. But she's familiar with this track.
Yeah, I put this mare on top here in this spot. I thought that was a nice win last time out. To your point, again, she's been familiar racing here. She's got a good draw to work with. I could see her lining up a first or second here in this spot, but there's a horse I used underneath that everybody else has kind of just traded between the 4 and the 5. You love Del Diggity, especially when Doug McNair's aboard.
Yes, Doug's got a great record with Del Diggity.
So this is a mare that I think merits a lot of respect in this spot. Almost went to her on top, but I think I'm going to try My Only Sunshine, but I'm using both of them in the pick 5 sequence.
Yes, and that's not a bad way to go. And yes, that was Grace's first ever training victory. She's actually only sent out 3 starters. She's got a win in 2 seconds so far.
I think this is her first start on the big track then in this
probably.
spot. So.
I would think the others were... Yep, so George and a couple in Grand River with 1. So there you go. So now she's looking for her first win here at Mohawk Park. All the best there. Yeah, I think it's going to be 4-5-5-4. They're going to be the main players. Anybody else in there to price, maybe?
Little Bearcat, I think, merits respect. When she's on her game, we know she can beat this group, but I just don't know what kind of trip she's going to work out here. But she's going to the Brett Lester barn here this evening. I think that she's worth a couple of looks.
Little Bearcat was the one that Ryan DeRoche brought here initially and did very well. It almost seemed like he had the keys to her.
Yeah, it was big time with her. Always putting her in good spots, and she just always seemed to have even more of a late kick than she normally did. You're right.
Yeah. Ryan's out on the East Coast now, I think, right? Yeah. All right. That's race number 7. 8th race, starting the final pick 3 of the night. 3-year-old pacing fillies, prospect starters that are nominators at 10,000 in their last 5. The 2 Funny Business, her lines are up to date. This was going to be the only race James was not scheduled to drive in, so it was to be a busy night. Stellar Manipulation at 5-2 for Daryl Thiessen. He's another one that, maybe in the coming years could say, I'm going to give it a shot here.
Oh, why not? Absolutely. He's having a good goal this year as well.
Yeah, he's having a really good year, over 200 wins already.
Yeah, and obviously UDRS of over 300. Again, another guy who's just, making his ground, making his trips, going around, and, just always looking for work. But making the most of it.
He's 8'4", 120 pounds.
Yep.
Right.
Always having fun out there too. I mean,
Yeah.
he can make speed though.
Yeah. No, he can. He can. That's for sure. So Stellar Manipulation, one you like in here?
You know what? I opted to go to Twinbee Bodacious here. It's going to be my all-in here from the middle of the gate.
Oh, okay.
This is one that I'm going to just give a try. I'm intrigued by Doug McNair sitting aboard, this filly, and good draw to work with. I mean, she's got 6 wins and 16 tries. I think that, it's all systems go tonight.
Yeah, Mike Rogers, limited starters this year, doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Winning 10 of 52. So we'll bring one, from kind of the Windsor way here, and again, awesome too. You get to pick up a top driver.
I would say. I mean, I like. There's a lot of positives going here with her into this particular spot, but some other fillies who I thought raced pretty well, like you said, Stellar Manipulation. She's put forth some good efforts. P.L. Susie, one that we've seen some good efforts from her on the big track. But Wicked Cruiser, I know that Randy has went her direction in a couple of starts as well in the past.
Yeah, and I think he likes her here tonight. He has sent in a replay on Wicked Cruiser, wants to have a look back at the August 8th outing here. So the last time she was here, and I mean, internometers at 2, but you're facing a winner that, in nice buns, that scores in 50 and 3. She's 6th, but she's only beat, 5 and change, paces in 51 and 3. All in all, I mean, not bad, especially for one that hasn't been used to going that kind of speed lately.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, again, she was in a pretty good spot, but I think it took a lot out of her following those fractions, right? I mean, to your point, just not accustomed to going that speed. You could see Jody's up the inside with her, and again, this is a good group that's up front right there in this spot. So I think she was at a disadvantage in this spot, I'd say, at facing tougher company, but still one that I think is going to benefit from a mile like that even moving forward.
Yeah, and you know what, followed it up, to be decent in the next start of Grand River. Then Leamington race doesn't look so good on paper, but got tortured there.
Yeah,
just a tough trip.
Just a tough trip, exactly. She's got a good draw to work with, and Jody's going to be back aboard her in this spot, and you have to figure that he's going to be able to work out a pretty good trip with her.
Yep, some could come to life in here, but you can see there you've got 4 different opinions for top picks with 5, 6, 7, and 8, the popular options. Race number 9, scratched down to a field of a half dozen with Strongman Hanover out of this contest due to sickness. It's 3-year-old Colton Gelding Pacers that are prospect starters in here. Ty Tour picks up Trevor Henry. The Magic Moment for Francis Guillemette, closing in on 100 wins on the season for Francis. Tyler Borth will drive this guy who's been an absolute win machine. And I mean, when you look at again what he did last time he was here, pretty good.
Really
and
good.
Now this is easier for him, isn't it?
Much easier and a better draw to work with as well. I mean, he followed up that effort with a victory back on the smaller track, and I think that big track tightener is going to really bode well for him in this spot. And again, he took on tougher company than some of these other horses that he's facing tonight have taken on in recent tries. So you have to figure that this Francis Guillemette trainee is going to be awfully tough to beat.
Yeah, and we're going to have a look back and see how he performed in that race. So, let's dress it up for you. August the 9th, he's here. He's got the 10-hole and anometers of 2, nometers of 30,000. Although he's generally forwardly placed on the smaller tracks, it was a wise move, I thought, by Tyler Borth to not say, let's not gun him.
No.
Especially the speed that they ended up going. And I think this probably helped the horse quite a bit because he, just continued to kind of get pretty quick on the end of it. Big back half, a 53 flat, ends up being 4th. Shadow of an Angel's put up really good performances this season in his outfit. And you can see him just on the end. He's just ranging up on the outside, and he's really only asked to pace kind of the final quarter.
Yeah, but again, this was a big showing, right?
Yep.
I mean, to your point, I mean, not every horse in that spot is going to be able to kind of move forward the way he did and pick up a 4th place finish against this group. And I thought he put forth a really strong showing. And to your point, again, a sharp horse, but he had a tough draw against tougher company. And I think Tyler drove him accordingly given the circumstances. And this is a horse who responded really well. And to your point, again, he's going to be a really short number, but deservedly so here in this
It'll be a
spot.
lot more aggressive tonight.
Yeah, you would think. Now that he knows the horse as well, right? Sat behind him, knows that this is likely a better spot, and he's got a much better draw to work with. And to no surprise, a sweep of 5s on the board.
Yeah, and I don't want to say that like Lindsay Kerr's horse, I don't think it'd be taken all that lightly from a time perspective. Lindsay's been able to bring starters here, from time time and again, and able to do some nice things.
And just missed out last time out.
Yes.
That was a good effort by a horse, again, who many thought was going to double up a national tier, who kind of stood out there maybe on a class standpoint.
He's good right now.
He's good right now. And again, into it big. This is one who's also sharp this year. 8 on the board finishes in 10 starts.
National tier, when he won his latest, that was when James had a horse that just run on the lead, didn't he?
Shining
last
moment.
turn?
Yeah,
that's
shining
right.
moment, yeah.
All right, race number 10 to close things out. 94,000 plus in the jackpot high five coming into tonight. We've got a field of 10. Let's Get Pickled, who made that break well in contention. He did have a missing chart line, but Lenny Lalonde decides to adjust the hobbles. Pick a Genre is going to be installed as the morning line favorite. He's been, nice for Barrington and company. And here, coming out of pop-up series action, able to get a win in 54 and 1. And even from the 9 hole, I mean, he's obviously very useful, and clean sweep.
Yeah, clean sweep. I mean, this was a horse who just crushed last time out, and I think some other ones are going to take support. Obviously, Bet 19. Which version of He Swift are we going to get, though? I mean, I don't think that's that was himself last time out. I know, Jury, moved him early in that spot, but he didn't finish up particularly well. That's that was just a horse who just didn't have his best effort that particular night.
And I mean, it's not like he's a 50 claimer.
Yep.
He's an 8 claimer right now, and for Team Polifroni to say, you know what, we like him. We like him a lot, and we're going to take him back here. I know it's a small investment, but I think that says something. So he's swift, and Drury knows him very well, so he's going to get to drive. But yeah, I think you'll see a better effort from him tonight.
Yeah, I think we will too. And again, Bet 19 I think is going to be forwardly placed as well, like he was last time out. And if Pick a Genre can work out a pretty good trip, again, he just did it with ease. His last few efforts have been sharp.
The early pick 5, as we know, will get plenty of play here with 75 grand guaranteed in the pool. John has put together a ticket, so let's have a look at what we've got here for the early pick 5 plays. You talked about some singles that you've got, but early on you've got yourself some pretty good coverage.
Yeah, I was going to go 2-3-5-7 in the opener, but the 5 horse is going to be scratched. I said I was intrigued with Misty Vodka. That's going to be my top selection in that spot, but I don't want to leave out Demi Rose and Just Call Me Bella. I think those are some contenders here in this spot, but race 2 I went 4 deep, Chad. I'm intrigued with Business on the Beach, but I do think Corporate Business has been racing well. I think Never Assume, I like that effort last time out. And Parlay King, I think, faces a similar group to what he beat last time, 2 starts back, I should say. So one that I think, could bounce back with a winning try.
Yeah, and all in race number 3.
Jose's Triplets.
Oh, yeah, the new
still waiting a driver
people.
change there, but as well. But one that I think is going to put forth a good effort. And, race 4, we talked about it. HP Run Detector in a much better spot. I'm going to go give this guy a shot here in this spot. And Pillow Thief now, no James McDonald, but you get Sammy Filion, who engineered him to a winning drive last time out. So, and then race 5 again. Another single in race 5 with Land the Plane. I'm going to give the 2-year-old Colt a shot here off that effort. I know he's taken on some older company, but I think that was a good showing, and he's going to step up with another nice performance.
And I believe producer Javon just said that Jose's Triplets in race 3, I believe he said 33, is getting Doug McNair.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll take that.
I'll take that, no problem.
There you go. That was another one. Yeah, I guess Dougie drives still quite a bit for Osceola from time to time as well. So Doug McNair and Jose's Triplets in there. Randy's early pick 5. Are we showing Randy's early pick 5 thoughts? Okay, so just John's here tonight. And we'll have some others, I think, probably throughout the evening. It's Tuesday, so as you know, on Tuesday, if you follow our race office, they happen to draw the double draw for the Friday-Saturday. And, I mean, we're just steady weekend after steady weekend of stakes. Now, we don't have any major stakes finals coming up this weekend that we had eliminations conducted for, but we do still have some stakes that are going to go. First off, on Friday, how about one division for the 2-year-old fillies in the Grade 3 Champlain? With the She's a Great Lady coming up, I'm not sure who's all eligible for it out of here, but I mean, you do have the likes of Dea. That's a tough spot. 10 hole. No Better TH Check Me Out in here. Naughty Delight was that gold winner in the most recent, right?
Yeah, and Talbot Kristen coming off a nice confidence boosting score, I believe.
I like the Sangria
Hanover.
Summer for Kevin Ben too. I can't remember how she did in the latest. She had the
third in her most recent.
Third, okay.
Effort. Yeah, but against,
I think there's ability there.
But against tougher company. I know Randy liked her last time out. He's loved her for a couple starts here, so I think this is one that, again, if she can continue to improve, she's been racing well.
So that's Friday in race number 5 on a 10-race program. Also on Friday night, Grade 3 Simcoe Stakes for the 3-0 Pacing fillies. And this was where Nicolucci was talking about he was going to see how Chantilly was feeling, right? And obviously with her not entered in here, gives others an opportunity as they continue to focus on getting her back into tip-top shape.
Yeah, absolutely. We're obviously rooting to see her back in contention as well. So, obviously wasn't sure if she was going to be ready for this particular weekend, to your point, but this is still a really nice group of pacing fillies that we've got here. And I mean, out of this world, Dale, was really, really good 2 starts back. She flew home and she was able.
Help her confidence
it's
here.
going to help her confidence now. You got a 6-hole to work with. Perfectly Chic has just been racing really, really well. And Millie May Hanover, she was loaded with some pace in behind rivals at Rito. So
she might be a late bloomer.
Yep.
I mean, she's bred to be a great one, but might be a late bloomer.
And Call You Up was one that you and I have liked in a couple of spots.
Was that the one that Luke Blay had initially, and then he ended up? I think she got sold.
She did, and Per Engblom's going to be training her now in this spot.
But that's that one.
That quarter-poled move, and it looked like she might have been a winner, but put in some steps.
Made some interference.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, Louis drove her that night. Trevor Henry was in there with one that got interfered with. I remember that. Yeah. Okay. And then on Saturday, we've got Simcoe, the Grade 3 event for the 3-year-old Pacers. I think we've got 2 divisions, and which, I mean, listen, it's awesome. We've got some great horses in here. But had it been 12, it would have been one 12-horse field. That would have been a lot of fun. But we get 7 and 6. So in the first one here, All-Star Maniac. I mean, he was used hard in his latest, but he's good. Locally, I think All-Star Maniac leads our crop.
I would have to say
for 3-year-olds. Provincially when he's on his game. But I mean, Crackshot. He's obviously put in some huge performances, and some of these Jameson horses too are starting to kind of show up again.
You want to talk about some confidence-boosting miles? Maybe that win by THKC Crunch was it in a couple weeks ago? I mean, maybe that's going to start propelling some pretty good efforts. He has a good draw to work with as well, but I mean, it's All-Star Maniac's race to lose.
Yeah, and then Champlain on Saturday for the 2-year-old Open Pacers. So this Bojangles gets a week off. So that means these guys get a week off from Bojangles as well as he prepares for the Metro elimination. Redland Rocket Man, I mean, he's been racing great.
Yep.
This would be a good spot for him. But I mean, even Vanderkamp's Windor, I thought's been good. Sweet Love and Lou, trying to come back. And then till the cows come home, he's been awesome for Team Jameson.
I think all the focus is going to be in the middle of the gate. I don't think Louis here on Saturday, though. I didn't see him listed, and he's not listed on Redline Rocket Man or Dad.
What do we got going out of town Saturday?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't believe I saw him on the entry. So Bob is going to be listed on that John Pentland trainee. One that he got a chance to sit.
Yeah, and he was very high on him. He told us right away.
Yeah,
he really liked this guy. There's no wait list. I mean, I loved seeing him reprogram the other night.
Big time.
He went right to the back and he finished with a ton of pace. Because early on qualifying, I mean, he looked like he was going to be maybe one of the top 2-year-olds.
Yeah, big time. And you know what? He was just taking. I mean, that gold crop is pretty tough. I mean, even a couple of horses on this list. I mean, you could see a Redline Rocket Man finishing 3rd in some of those tries behind a couple of really good ones. But no wait list again, was just kind of always hovering around, picking up pieces. But that's the best I've seen him in the late stages of the mile.
Here's the other division of the Simcoe. This one with the field of 6, 5th and 5. He won what was the 6 in a row the other night? Yeah, back in the gold. Right, he's been awesome. But he's got others to deal with. So this isn't restricted to just Ontario Sard. It's open company. That's where you get the likes of II Captain Deo, DA Loveboat. He won 2 last weekend, didn't he? Yeah.
And Joel and the Jets, obviously, in another good spot. He was the one that just got picked off of the inside by 5th and 5. Was that him 2 back?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But II Captain Dale, I thought that was a really nice performance by him.
He was up against some older horses.
Yep.
He was the only 3-year-old in there. James drove him patiently, and he closed.
Yep.
He was really moving. He's 3rd, I think, right?
Yeah,
raced really well on there. And then outside of that, we can tell you that I believe there were 7 mares dropped in the box for the Milton Stake. So if there was enough, there was going to be an elim, not required. I don't think that's a surprise. I don't necessarily off the top of my head know all of the mares, but we do know that one of the greatest rivalries in all of harness racing will continue in the final next Saturday. Sylvia Hanover and Twinbee Joe Fresh.
Yeah, and Sylvia Hanover is going to be competing, obviously, in the prep race. So Bob McClure will be aboard her. And we'll get Kobe's Gigi here as well.
Kobe's Gigi's here. I know Twinbee Joe Fresh, so she's not in the prep. I think Talk Curdy to Me was another one that's going to be in the Milton final, but not in the prep.
My girl EJ is going to be in the prep.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
Yeah, nice scoop.
Yeah, and they go for like $60,000, I think. So so that so we'll have that Milton that's going straight to the final. But again, headlined by the 2 top mares that are going to, again, battle it out. But then you've got others in there as well. So stakes action continues, but I'm going to leave you with some plays of the night. I got to jet upstairs. We'll have a parade coming up here shortly. I know John's got my back if I'm not up there in time or if I'm completely out of breath. But here you go, John. Take it away with the plays of the night.
All right, business on the beach. My worth a look here in this spot. My best bet's going to be Jose's triplets. My spot play, Call Me Parker. And my all-in's going to be Twin B Bodacious later on. So, feel pretty good about my 4-pack here in this spot. And we'll leave you with some other resident handicappers selections here as well as we get set to kick off this Tuesday night 10-pack shortly. And we still got the plays of the night for the Hall of Famer here as well. Manadors beat the favorite. Waples Watch Land the Plane. Worth a look, Call Me Parker. His all-in, the magic moment. I'm in agreement with him on a majority of his selections. And as I mentioned, we always got selections provided by some resident handicappers. We've got Sean Patrick Nolan filling in for Nahu Picks. He's going to go Hadley as a spot play in race 5. Garnet Barnsdale going a day as a spot play in race 6. And Ghislaine Paquette should repeat My Only Sunshine race number 9. All right, they're going to be out momentarily here as we get set for this Tuesday night program. I'll be back with you